Last week I did numerous news conferences, all successful. They went very well, like this is going very well. And then I didn't do any for 2 days, and they said, there must be something wrong with him. Biden wouldn't do them for months. You wouldn't see him. And nobody ever said there was ever anything wrong with him, and we know he wasn't in the greatest of shape.
The health and fitness of President Trump has been a recurring topic and recurring concern for a lot of people over the last few years. The age question is a frequent criticism of former President Joe Biden. It was often being questioned by President Trump.
But over the weekend, Trump himself was the subject of health speculation. The Hill's Alex Gangitano joins us now with the latest from the White House. Morning, Alex.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Now, Trump's still taking shots at Biden. He said he plans to display a portrait focused on former President Biden's use of the auto pen in a new presidential wall of fame for the Rose Garden. You want to tell us about that whole thing?
That's right. In an interview last week, the president said that he'll have this presidential wall of fame in his newly constructed Rose Garden. I was back there just last week and saw, it's all pavement now with round tables and umbrellas and chairs around them. That's right outside of the Oval Office. And so in order to decorate the area, he's planning on putting up portraits of other presidents, past presidents. Now, in order to commemorate former President Biden, he's planning on putting up a photo of the auto pen. That's what Trump talks about time and time again, about the fact that he thinks his predecessor used an auto pen to sign really important documents. He's even wanted that investigated. So this was kind of a way to bash the former president's use of the auto pen and also, keep up this conversation about, did he use the auto pen too much? How much was he aware of his auto pen usage? That's something, again, that we hear from the president a lot. He brings up this auto pen. So it's kind of an interesting way to take a jab at his predecessor there.
Is this a pot kettle situation, Alex? I mean, what is auto pen? Is it common? Have other presidents like Donald Trump used it before?
That's right. It is common for presidents to use an auto pen, especially they're signing documents like thank you notes or notes out to people in the states who reach out to them. They're signing documents all day. Even the president says on things like that, it's okay to use an auto pen. But what President Trump tends to bring up is these last minute pardons that former President Biden put through, these preemptive pardons, especially for his family members. He brings up that. He also brings up immigration orders. It's not completely clear what exactly the president is talking about when he brings up something that the former president signed related to immigration. But he does say that President Biden was never, more liberal leaning about immigration policies, that he was more moderate. So he doesn't believe that those choices were his own. And it's all part of the broader rhetoric that we're hearing from the House committee investigating Biden's mental health as well. It's all, this conversation over how much was he aware of the decision making, or was it the people around him, considering his age and his stamina. So it's keeping up that narrative as well.
Meantime, President Trump has been the center of rumors of his own, right? Health rumors. He took a long break from public appearances, and he had something to say about this when asked about it by a reporter.
How did you find out over the weekend that you were dead? You see that?
No.
People didn't see it for a couple days. 1.3 million user engagements as of Saturday morning about your demise.
Really?
You didn't see that?
Yeah, Alex, I neglected to say that. The rumor wasn't just about his health, but that, in fact,
he was dead.
He was dead.
Yeah.
What's the administration saying about this?
Yeah, there was a frenzy of chatter on social media over the weekend. The fact that we hadn't seen the president since that Tuesday last week cabinet meeting that was over 3 hours long, and then we didn't see him in the public view in terms of talking to the media until yesterday. That is rare for this president. He speaks to the media almost daily, especially early on in the administration, and so that raised questions. There's also questions over his health. The White House came out months ago and said that he has an illness that causes bruising in his ankles and his hands. We see him covering up that hands either with makeup or his other hand. So that added to the frenzy on social media. The White House, though, really has dismissed a lot of these concerns, as you saw the president do as well, say, I hadn't even seen that people thought that I was dead. I saw that maybe people were questioning my illness. Talking to some if I was ill, talking to some insiders around the White House, they say, if anything, they're more annoyed by this than concerned, and they're just saying this is much ado about nothing. Now, the president, as you saw, dismissed those concerns when he was asked about it, but he also said that President Biden wasn't seen for days at a time, and people didn't question his health, which is true. He didn't speak nearly as much as this president did when he was in office. And he said, and here he is actually ill. He has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. So bringing up that double standard, that's something that we saw a lot of more MAGA-leaning Twitter or X talking about over the weekend, that this was a double standard, that more pro-Biden X was talking about that the media should be asking questions about where Trump is when he doesn't speak to the press for a few days.
All righty. Alex Gangitano, thank you so much. Appreciate it.